Hey crew, welcome to the YCB Academy channel, your one-stop channel to get in the best shape of your life in 120 days, okay? Yes, you can get in the best shape in 120 days, but if you do want to put on more muscle and get super lean, it does take a little bit longer, guys, but 120 days is achievable. Today's topic is strength training for weight loss specifically. But first, if you like this channel, guys, click the subscribe button that you see below right now. Don't miss out on my weekly videos, okay? I'm going to start off with a little bit of background about myself, Coach Brun, all right? 22 years coaching and fitness experience, guys, okay? I've done over 20 bodybuilding shows in Australia and the UK. My background is in the military, all right? So know how to kick ass. I'm a hard worker. With the bodybuilding, I've achieved great stuff, guys. London champion, stuff like that. But I've done a lot of shows, and I know how to get myself and my clients in the best shape of their life. I'm a Charles Poliquin strength and conditioning sports specialist. Okay, I'm also an advanced nutrition and supplement advisor and motivator. All right, guys, but enough about me. So, how are we going to get you in the best shape of your life in 120 days? So I'm going to take you through tips and videos that will be so helpful, and you're going to accelerate your results so fast by tuning in, guys, okay? And the topic today, as mentioned, is strength training for weight loss. Now, there is a difference between strength training for weight loss and strength training for fat loss. And I will explain this a little bit down in the video, but the first thing I want to cover is why you should strength train at all for weight loss. Beg your pardon. Now, first thing is you need a good body structure. You need to be functionally sound, meaning you need to be able to walk well, you need to be able to move well, you need to be bending, you need to be twisting well, and do the proper movements like push, pulls, and bending movements, as I mentioned, stuff like that, to have a structure so you can actually strength train for weight loss. But the biggest element about strength training for weight loss is not about the muscles in particular or the look or the posture, it's about your metabolism, all right? Now, how does metabolism help drop weight, and how does strength training help drop weight? Well, when you strength train, you break down the muscles for its proper repair so you can grow. The only thing you're doing with strength training is breaking down the muscles in preparation for repair, and the way you repair is you eat and you rest, and that's when you grow. Now, it does not mean that your muscles are going to blow up overnight or and just you're going to become a Hulk at all, but your muscles do grow in a lean sense, and they stay nice and lean, and that increases your metabolism. And that's the ultimate goal here with weight loss. When you have a fast metabolism, you'll be able to utilize fat burning better, okay? You'll be able to transport those nutrients better around the body, and you'll be able to keep the body fat off long term and sustain it, because you want to be able to burn body fat while you're watching this video, while you're resting. And that's the key. And that's why men and women with a bit of lean muscle keep the weight off for good, okay? But we're going to get deeper into that a little bit. But the first thing I want to do is get deep into the difference between strength training for weight loss and strength training for fat loss. You need to train in a particular way for each of those goals, okay? Now, let's start with weights training for weight loss. Now, the difference is, guys, when you want to strength train for weight loss, that your ultimate goal is to drop that weight, okay? You want to see the kilograms go down on that scale. And if that's your ultimate goal, then you need to train strength training in a way that facilitates that, which means go lighter with your repetitions, okay? And obviously do compound movements, which I'll go through in the next little bit here. But when you go lighter, you're not going to build as much muscle mass. You will build lean muscle, but not muscle mass. Okay, so that means that the weight should drop if you're dropping body fat, and if you're doing a good nutritional plan, okay, and doing all your cardio, that kind of good stuff, the weight drops, and that's why the scale should drop. Now, that is not how you should be looking at strength training and dropping weight and getting in the best shape of your life, because the ultimate goal here, guys, is to look fantastic and drop body fat percentage. So I recommend weight training for fat loss, okay? The difference of weight training for weight loss and fat loss is this. When you do strength training for fat loss, you're actually trying to keep the muscle, maintain it at minimum, or the ultimate goal is to build a little bit of muscle or build a lot of muscle for my guys out there that want to build muscle at the same time. And that's weight training for fat loss. You want to build muscle while you drop body fat. Muscle weighs more than body fat, guys. So when you look at the scale, when you're training for fat loss, the weight shouldn't matter, okay? It is important because you need to track that, but it should not matter. A lot of my guys in my academy get in the best shape of their life and their weight increases. Their waist drops 20 centimeters and their body fat reduces to 15% because they're focusing on increasing lean muscle, which is how you get in the best shape of your life. So don't worry about the scale too much, but you do need to track all the other elements, okay? But if you do want to see the weight drop, and a lot of my guys do want to see the weight drop, even though they're not too concerned about the muscle, then you should be training for strength training for weight loss, which is lighter repetitions. Strength training for fat loss is a little bit heavier and the weight does not matter as much. Okay, that's the difference there, guys. There is a difference, okay? Now, how should you strength train for weight loss, right? So strength training for weight loss should involve compound movements, okay? So we're talking a lot of exercises that require more than 2 muscles, okay? So that's super important because the more muscles you can recruit in one exercise, the more metabolic rate you're going to accelerate and the more human growth and testosterone production you're gonna build during that exercise. I don't get too far into the hormones, guys, but basically compound movements is what you need. You also need to split this up appropriately, meaning if you do a squat press one day, you shouldn't really be doing the squat press the next day because you could have muscle soreness in that area and you might need a couple days to repair. So splitting up the routine with compound movements, mind you, get some building works above here, compound movements with squat rows or like for one day you could do squat rows, for example, which works the back. Next day you could do squat presses, which works the shoulders. But then again, you have to also be very careful. Actually, you know what it is? It's my English bulldog barking in the background, guys, so don't forget about that. She barks while she sleeps. Honey? Good, there we go. Stopped. Crazy dog. I'll show her on my videos as we go, guys. So, compound movements, split that up for weight loss so you can recover more. And as I mentioned earlier, guys, lower weight, higher repetitions, right, is what you need to do for strength training for weight loss. But the rest is important as well. And that's why you do higher repetitions and lower weight, because you're not going to get that delayed onset muscle soreness or that DOMS, which is the soreness in the muscles, as much, and you don't need it as much for strength training for weight loss. And you need to, you should be able to train every day if you're doing the appropriate split, okay? You shouldn't be training chest and biceps, back and triceps, whatever you do, like a bodybuilder. It's not how you should be strength training for weight loss. So rest is super important, and that brings me into the next part, which is the recovery, right? Now, while you rest, okay, what's interesting with fat loss is that strength training is its own element alone, right? So strength training and fat and cardiovascular are 2 different systems. Strength training revolves around the nervous system and around contracting muscle fibers, whereas the cardiovascular system is revolved around heart health, oxygen uptake, lung capacity. Okay, so these are 2 separate systems, but you can train them together, and that's what we call like a circuit or CrossFit, stuff like that, where you're lifting weights and on F45, the most common thing at the moment, guys, most trend. By the way, it's all the same thing. They just come up with a name. It's basically just weights training with cardiovascular combined, and they just come up with their own little formula and their own little system, and they call it whatever the hell they want. So if you think you're buying into an amazing new revolutionizing a workout, all you're doing is combining weights and cardio. That's all we're doing, putting a fancy name on it. Anyway, that's another story, guys. Okay, so rest. Where does rest come into play with this? So rest is important because you want to be burning that body fat while you're resting, okay? And when you're doing a weights training for weight loss specifically, you should be able to do as much cardio as needed, so you don't actually need as much rest. Okay, you could for a bodybuilding show, for example, guys, we do as much as cardio first thing in the morning, cardio post workout, and cardio late at night. Not every day if you've got the energy for that, but that is potentially how much cardio you could do. And if you're doing strength training for weight loss, you can do a lot of cardio, and you should be, guys, and that's how you accelerate your fat loss. Which brings me to the next section of cardio, which is a key element for fat burn. And obviously nutrition, which is like 90% of everything, guys. Okay, nutrition is 90%. But the cardio, as I said, is a key element, and you should be doing lots of that. Okay, keep it separate. As I mentioned, strength training is strength training for weight loss, and then cardio is cardio for fat burn. But that's another thing, guys. Okay, cardio is super important. Nutrition is the ultimate. All the hard work is still done in the kitchen, guys, and that is a separate video as well. Okay, guys. Well, listen. In a nutshell, weights training for weight loss specifically is different to weights training for fat burn, because with the weight loss, if that's your goal, you want the weight to drop, you need to train lighter, you need to keep that reps higher, you need to split this properly, you need to get your cardio in, and you need that rest. So but ultimately the weights training for weight loss is about increasing your metabolism. Okay, even though you're not lifting as heavy, you're still increasing your metabolism. And the ultimate goal here with the weights training is so that you can have lean muscles, so you burn body fat while you rest. That is the ultimate goal with the weights training for weight loss. Okay, guys? But listen, if you want to know more, you drop in on my videos weekly. I'll be doing nutritional tips, I'll be doing supplement tips, I'll be doing more strength training tips for fat loss, more strength training for muscle gain, which most of my guys want to do out there. So stay tuned for future videos, guys. It's been awesome. But listen, strength training for weight loss is unique. You need a personalized approach for this. Don't watch random YouTube videos. It's good to motivate yourself, guys, but it's not specific to you, your body type, your metabolism. You just because the person you're watching maybe looks good, has a good body, or looks a similar body to you, does not mean that's going to work for you. Okay, guys? So if you are interested in, say, your transformation 120 days, you can also contact me. But you do need a personalized approach with your unique body, lifestyle, fitness levels. Okay, guys? Stay tuned. Click the subscribe button below. I'm going to pop that up here now. Stay tuned. Don't miss a video, and I'll see you very, very soon.